So, about a week ago, Wyatt Teller of the Cleveland Browns gave his opinions on the calf injury that Joe Burrow is facing. Of course, he gave his opinion because he has dealt with many calf injuries in his career. With that being said, the next guy to give his advice for Joe Burrow is actually none other than Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Now, obviously, Dak Prescott has dealt with injuries throughout his career, not as much as other quarterbacks, but he wanted to go ahead and give his advice. And this is what he had to say: be patient. It's training camp. A guy like that, you just need him ready for game one. Really, as the season gets going, Prescott said, according to ESPN's Tom Archer. Just be patient. A guy like Joe is taking all the mental reps, getting himself prepared. That's what you need to do most in this game. You're not being physical. And then he went ahead and it continues to say Prescott suffered his own calf injury in 2021, missing 2 weeks of the season and one actual game. He also missed the majority of the 2020 season with a broken ankle. But Joe Burrow is no stranger to injury either. Playing behind the worst offensive line in football as a rookie, Burrow suffered a brutal knee injury that required ACL and MCL replacements, as well as major reconstruction surgery. However, he bounced back and took the Bengals to the Super Bowl in year two. Just, just look at his past, Prescott said. The guy got what, an ACL tear his rookie year, comes back and has the best year as a quarterback. I guarantee he got the right approach to it, doing exactly that. Needless to say, Dak Prescott has a lot of faith in the young quarterback's ability to bounce back. Cowboys single caller is just 30 years old, but he's already the longest tenured starting quarterback with his current team. Burrow's injuries shouldn't keep him out long. The Bengals expect him to be ready for week one, even if he has to miss the preseason. Guys are always excited to get on the field by the time the NFL training camp rolls around, but with many injuries in today's NFL, it's sometimes better to be patient. And that's exactly what's going to happen. First off, even if Joe was 100% healthy, he would not have played preseason because there's no reason for him to play preseason. He has enough game experience, and with training camp and practices, he'd be plenty enough up to game speed that he'd be absolutely fine without going to training camp. Now, what I will say about this whole entire thing is, and we do know that recent updates, that Joe is actually a lot better and he's recovering very nicely, and that he should be ready probably very, very soon to maybe not get back to training camp, but do some practices and light practices, kind of getting back on, the correct note. But what we learned from Irv Smith yesterday was he's still there. Like, he's not obviously practicing, but he did a lot of talking with Irv Smith and some other receivers, and he's working out game plans where, yeah, he might not physically be throwing them the football, but as Irv said, he's still there mentally. He's still there to talk to him. He's still there to say what he likes, what he doesn't like, how he wants to run a certain route, how he doesn't want to run a certain route. You got to keep in mind that, Joe's still watching all this training camp. Well, yes, it's Trevor Siemian and Jake Browning throwing the football. Doesn't mean that Joe is not watching it and saying, hey, Irv, when you run this route or you do this, you do that, I like it when you do this play. I like it when you come back for this ball. And I think you should work on this timing or work on that timing. Things to kind of constructive criticism to make him a better player and obviously make us a better offense. So a lot of people think that, and I think it's the perspective of when a player is hurt, they're away from the facility. They're not, contributing to the team. But that's the opposite for Joe. Even though Joe can't be out there throwing the football, he is still working with every single player, making sure that, everything is still working perfectly fine. That's why a lot of people are like, well, he's missing training camp. There's no way he's going to be able, to get up to the correct level for week one. He's not even in training camp. First off, he did play 4 games of training camp. Well, he practiced 4 times in training camp. He also did OTAs. He also did mandatory minicamp, right? He also did all that. But again, a lot of it, especially with his skill level and the level he's at, which, as Dak says, he is, again, my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL, he doesn't need that much process to be at that top level again, right? He doesn't need to be, going crazy out there, risking himself to get to a level that he's be perfectly fine for the regular season. But really, again, the good thing is, I've said it many times, is all of our guys on our team, they have this, chemistry with Joe. They played with Joe multiple years. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, they've played multiple years. So there are some players who are new, Chase Brown, Charlie Jones, Andre, and Irv Smith, but that's why, again, they're going through the mentor, the communication with one another. He's telling him what I like, what I don't like. So he gets on that same page with him where, yeah, again, he's not going to be catching football from him, but he's able to at least get that kind of mental thing going. And I'm probably sure, they're probably not doing it right now, but if they really wanted to, they could technically, he could sit on like a chair or a cart and throw footballs to Irv Smith if he really wanted to. But again, like I said, it's not that dire because they're going to get that communication down right before the season gets down anyway. Right now, in all honesty, it's just communication. And honestly, 90% of chemistry with the quarterback to the receiver, yes, going out there and throwing the football is nice and that's awesome, but it's really also the communication. It's like, hey, I know my quarterback likes it when I run this route and I do this. I know my quarterback can throw the ball perfectly right here. I know my quarterback likes it when, he rolls out and I sit on this route right here and I watch him so he can check it down to me. There's certain things every quarterback likes that, again, that's communication. That's more than just playing on the field. Yes, you do get that from playing with one another on the field and obviously through games, but you also get that through communication from the quarterback saying, hey, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, okay? This is what I like. This is how I run my offense. This is how I do my system. And then the receiver / tight end / whoever is on the offense, they kind of get that, ballpark range from Joe. And again, Joe is, as Hayden Hurst said before, he's not a guy who comes up and screams in your face. He's not a guy who's gonna, scream at you if you don't run the correct route, you don't do what he wants. But what he is gonna do is in his typical, Joe kind of cool, collect, relaxed type of voice. He's gonna voice it to you. He's gonna, hey man, I don't like this, and this. And my guess is right now, a lot of it is the training he's gonna give these receivers, the new receivers, Irv Smith, etc. It's going to be just verbal training. It's going to be like, hey, listen, Andre, I saw you run your route yesterday. You look real good. But when you cut in on your routes, I need you to cut a little bit better. I need you to do this, and this. And again, the Bengals training staff / coaching staff is going to help too. But listen, no one knows better than Joe, okay? Joe is the top. He could be a coach on this team with how good of a quarterback he is. But nonetheless, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.